Hi there. Gosh, I am so glad I'm getting my hair done tomorrow. Anyway, there is a reason why you should write in your own style, even if you don't feel comfortable about doing it. For more about that, keep watching. Hi there. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Lisa Oliver. I write paranormal romances and have done for the last 8 years. I have over 80 books to my name, and they are all self-published. And thanks to being self-published, I make a comfortable living as an author full-time. Now, why you shouldn't write like someone else, and why am I even talking about it? I was going through some other writer videos the other day on YouTube because, it's always nice to know. Authors learn from each other. So I was busy learning from other people. And I noticed there was some authors around and they were doing things, I tried to write like Hemingway, or I tried to write like Stephen King, and I tried to do this, that, and the other. And I'll admit I didn't watch the videos, but I was really interested in why anybody would want to, and that's the problem. My brain went off on that tangent. And I started thinking about why it was really important for any author to write in their own style. Now, for those of you who are really newbie authors and are not sure what I mean by style, it's, let me think. Hemingway, for example, in my opinion, had a very sparse style. He wrote with very short sentences. He was genius. He was able to paint a scene with so few words, and it was truly beautiful the way he did it. Stephen King he's an amazing author. And he has the ability to create moods with the words that he uses. But his sentences are nowhere as short as Hemingway's. And his style, his mood, what he evokes from his writing is totally different. I write in what's known as a casual conversational style. And quite frankly, what it is I'm sharing a story with you. So I write as though I was telling the story to my best friend. I could imagine, my best friend sitting across from me, and I was busy telling them about what Loki was doing, or Anubis, or Caspian, or anybody else I happened to be writing about at the time. I share a story in a conversational manner. And because of that, I use a lot of words. I'm sure if a literary or editor or anybody from an educational institution went through my books, every single page would have huge, big red lines through superfluous words. But I write with those words because in my head, I want to flow. I want to flow to my story. I want to flow to the scene. If I can use sentence length to add emphasis, for example, if I'm writing an action scene, then I shorten my sentences to mimic the action going on. If I want something punchy and short, then you do that. If there isn't a romantic scene, you want longer sentences that flow and sort of create that spell, that illusion of intimacy and of, the pacing of slowing things down. So it's the sort of thing I do, and I like to think I do relatively effectively, although I do have a couple of friends who still say to me, you use 50 words when 5 would have done. That's my style. And the important thing for you is to develop your own style. And the reason why it's important is because comparison is really, really bad for authors. I mean, it's bad for any creative field at all. I paint, for example. I can splash paint on a canvas, and I wish it could be like Jackson Pollock, but it's not. I do fluid art paintings, and I adore the work by Julie over at Pouring Your Heart Out. But I don't create anything as amazing as she does, because for me, it's not something I do all the time. And when it comes to writing, when I first started writing, I felt I should be like the other major names in my genre at that time. But I found I couldn't do it. And that's a problem with trying to compare yourself with somebody else or trying to write like somebody else. If it's not natural to you, the words are not going to come easily, and you're going to get frustrated and annoyed, and then you'll stop writing. So it's vitally important that you write in your own style, in a way that feels comfortable to you. And the way to get to that point is to think about imagining, back when storytelling was done with words, oral, when it was done with the oral traditions, when we did sit around campfires and people came and they told tales of far away, and we never had the internet or anything else like that, and people listened and they gathered around to hear those stories. We don't do that sort of thing anymore. If we go to a social gathering like a club or a pub or anything else like that, it's all far too noisy to be able to hear somebody telling a story. And we've all got very insulated in that we, when we're enjoying stories, we do it by ourselves using our Kindles or our phones or books. People still buy books, actual books. And so we do that on our own. And we're reading the written word instead of listening to the stories. But for the writer, that urge to speak, that urge to tell the stories is still there. And that's what you want to put down on the page. So when you're telling your story, when you start your story, if it helps, imagine your best friend or somebody you trust, because got to remember, writing is quite a vulnerable thing to do as well when you're sharing stuff with other people. So imagine somebody you trust sitting across from you and you're telling them the story. And yeah, I'm going to get comments, aren't I? Because writers are meant to show, not tell. But if you imagine that you're showing your best friend your story, then the system still applies. The point is still made. Your stories need to be in your voice because they're a part of you. And when you come to share them, which you will, your readers will fall in love with as much with your style as they will with the words that those styles are conveying. Now, of course, not everybody's going to like them. Like, I have people who read my books who think I am too wordy. I have, and that's fine. They just won't buy the next one. I have read books that I've thought were too sparse. And my brain, it's really bad because when I start reading them, my brain is filling in words I would have written around the, terse nature of the thing I was reading. But that is that author's style. And a lot of readers like that. It doesn't matter. See, there's a reader for every style. There's a reader for every story. And if you spend time trying to compare yourself or trying to write like someone else, you are actually delaying the process of sharing your own story. So it's really, really important that you write with your voice. It helps you get the story out sooner. It conveys, your style will convey the emotions in your way, which is what you want it to do. But most importantly, you're sharing a part of you as you. and not Stephen King or Hemingway. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to drop them below. I try and do videos at least 3 times a week. And as I say, I have a genuine desire to help people become authors like I am, self-published, of course, because that's where the money is. But if you did enjoy this, actually, I think, you might have to check my channel later on in the week. I'm going to do a reading of chapter 1 of one of my books, just to see if people I want it on my channel so I can use it as an example for various things that I do talk about. So if you're interested in looking at my styles, check back on the channel on Friday or Saturday. And what is it? It'll be chapter 1 of my book, The Illuminate, should be on my channel then. And then you can see what I mean about my style. And it'll give you an idea. You could probably go through and think, yeah, she could have written that a lot quicker if she had been inclined. But maybe that then will give you an idea on style for yourself, and the fact that, my style suits me. I'll be interested in your comments on it. But now I find I'm fluffing, so let's stop fluffing. Please, I'm trying to think if I got any new releases this week. I haven't. No, my daughter is actually bringing out a book this week. But when I've got a firm title on that, I will definitely be dropping a link in the description. And the collaboration I'm doing with JP Sale, we're starting our second series this week, our second new series this week. So I will have more information about that the further along in the series we get, or the further along in the book we get. We had a magnificent planning session the other day, so that was really fun. And yeah, please hit like and subscribe, and check back for my future videos later on in the week. Most importantly, hug the ones you love, my friends, and stay safe. Bye.